I hope you're doing well. Wanted to take a few minutes here and help make sure everybody understands how to locate our course in the new Canvas Learning Management System and how to go about finding some information in it and different aspects of the new approach, I guess. And it struck me, I guess I should be saying something like, congratulations on getting to your last course. And we decided you needed a little bit of a challenge or just new atmosphere. So we decided you could use the Canvas Learning Management System. Right, we had to switch everything over at one time. That's the truth. Or I would have made an effort to allow you to finish out your program with your last course here. But there's not much difference between the two, so it's going to be easy just to navigate. Same information, same material we're going to be doing. So let's look here. I've logged into my Uno. So at the top of my Uno, we have email, OneDrive, the virtual college where we used to go, and the Racers Online. So let's click on the Racers Online button, and that brings me to a page called the dashboard. So the dashboard has each of the courses that you are enrolled in, right? And it's going to have maybe a resource course. I have a faculty resource course where when we first switched over, that's what we used. You may have a page in between that and this one come up that just kind of makes sure you want to come to this new page. So if you get one that says, do you want to go to the old or new? Just make sure to click on the new logo again. Since it's now rolled out, I don't think many of you will see that other page. I know mine went away. So we're looking here at the dashboard. I guess before we click on our course, you can always click on this one and that's going to go to your account, where that's going to take you away from your dashboard. So if you ever click on one of these other buttons, if you click on this dashboard here, that's going to bring you back to the main page. Right, for those that will go on session after session, they will use this courses button at times just to see their courses they're in. If you need to send me a message, you can use this inbox approach, and that's a really neat program because it's more organized or better connected to your emails. So you can send me a message through here, and I can send you a message back through email, and you're going to get it. Right? We're not going to have to worry about messages that you didn't receive because I didn't realize you sent it through that old message system and it wasn't an email. Okay, so we're looking here at the courses. So let's click on the course to go into our 690 course. So I'm going to click on this. And before we get started, I will say this is my view of it. So as an instructor, you can see different things. Let me just click on this student view. And this is going to be exactly what you see when you log in, except for you will not have the fancy pink border around it. But you're still going to see the main things. And you see here what we've tried to do is declutter from even what we work with on our side. So you only see what's important for you to work with. All right, notice the main menu is still over here. We just now are inside a specific course. Right, so we're on what we call the home page. The home page is what used to be called the Start Here page or Start Here Welcome. So you notice recent announcements. There's one announcement here. If you want to see all the announcements, you simply click on the button below it for announcements in the left menu. So the menus are much more connected, and that's a good thing. So we talk about the session, the virtual office hours. I guess it's never too early to talk about that. So we're bringing those back for the summer. What I'm going to do with mine, I have 3 courses, as you can see there. So for the virtual office hour, we're going to use this more general. You please feel free to come in and we can talk about your career interests. How's the session going in general? Things of that nature. And then if you have specific questions, the best thing to do is email me. And let's say, hey, here's what I'm looking at in this course. It might be, here's some ideas I'm thinking about. Can you take a look at and let me know what you think? Just be as specific as you can, and that way I can understand really what your question is. Because sometimes I might think I know the question, but I don't know the question. So just if you send me anything, be specific. And then if we need to talk about that specific thing, we can always do another Zoom session or another collaborator team session. I think is what we're going to use a lot. And then we can also, what I'm using that is sometimes people ask a question and then I can kind of answer it in a video that I'll post in an announcement, and hopefully that will help the whole class. Right, so that's where I'm hoping to use the virtual office hours kind of for anybody from any of the courses that come in. Like, but if you come in and you're the only one there, I'll be glad to look at questions as much as I can with you. But know that just don't think you only have to ask them there. We can still look at it independently, and a lot of times if you give me a few minutes to think about it, maybe I can come up with a solution, or I can see exactly what you tried and where you went wrong. Um, Okay, so that's the announcements, and that's why I want to make sure before I forgot to talk about the virtual office hour approach. Okay, so we go back to the home page. Again, we scroll down. It has general information like we on the other one. Here's a page. You can click on this, and it's going to take you to Meet Your Instructor. So, before it was a section on the page. Course resources. So let's click on this one. This is the same thing it used to be the course materials. So right, your main materials for the course. So that's what's going to be here. Let's click back to go to the home page. The course syllabus is good to click on. So if you click here, or if you come over here and click on syllabus, it's going to take you to the same area. Since we're on the home page, but this is good because if you're in modules and you want to go to syllabus, you don't have to go to the home page and then to syllabus, right? You can just go right to syllabus, and that it's a lot more navigation friendly, which I appreciate about it. This course syllabus, again, general information, same thing for everything. It gives you your breakdown of how your points are going to be. What I also like about it is it has a summary here. And then when we go into the grade book a little bit, in just a moment or two, you're going to see the same breakdown. So as you're looking at your grades, it'll help you keep everything kind of clear in your mind is what you're seeing. The other good thing about the syllabus here, and you want to look at it in electronic version, you can click on this to do a printable version, but always check the electronic, if the unforeseen were to happen and we needed to make a due date change. This is where you see all the due dates for things in the course. So this is the best way to track it, is looking at the electronic syllabus. Okay, so that's why the syllabus is handy. Where you're going to spend most of your time is in learning modules. So we're going to come back to that. This course Q&A, if you click on it, this is the same thing that used to be the general questions discussion forum. So if you have a question, you can come in here and type it in and ask it. Please take time to come in sometimes because you may see a question somebody else has asked, and you can actually help maybe even better than I can because you may understand really what they're asking. So if you see something somebody's asking, you know how to help somebody, please feel free to. We learn as much from each other as this from somebody who's like the instructor. But I appreciate anything that we do to help each other out as far as that goes, right? So that's what the course Q&A is. And you'll see here in a minute, there's multiple ways to get to all of this information. And I mentioned here, you'll spend most of your time in learning modules. So if we click on here, once again, it's the same thing as if I had gone on my left menu and clicked on modules, right? It made that bold. This area here, welcome to class, is the, kind of start here area. So it has things about, if you had clicked on the home page, where the About Your Instructor was, it's going to take you to the exact same page as if you'd come here and clicked on this. Right? If you'd have clicked on the home page of Course Resources, it's going to take you to the same thing, right? Course Q&A. Right? So don't think this takes you to different pages. It just tries to give you multiple ways to get to where you need to be. Right? So there's some information here, same thing that would be included on the Start Here page. Make sure that we do. And then what I wanted to introduce is each module is set up where it's in our course, sometimes there are only 3 Ds here, and then other courses, let's go to maybe 4. There's, oddly enough, 4 is a 4D approach. So this might be the one to look at. So the first section you'll see in each module is what we call Discover. So it starts out kind of with a to-do list it's very similar to the one we used to have. In fact, I copied some of the same charts over just to make the transition not as tough as it may be, right? But it really just gets us started in what we're doing. Right? So we can click back here, come back to the modules, right? And then the resources are in the Discover. So you notice for this one, we have some materials. I've thought about, our course does not have a great deal of lecture videos, and I wouldn't necessarily call them lecture videos, but I'm thinking about going and add some. So if you see some pop up in this area along the way, is this where I'm going to try to put some, again, I don't know, maybe some good advice or good tips as you're finishing up your MBA. I think that might be a good way to incorporate some of that in here. So in each module, you have Discover, where you do what you're going to do, what materials you're going to review. Then there's going to be a Discuss. All right, so and this will be in most of yours, if not all. That's the discussion forum. So it's going to be, varied by topic, but that's the second thing to do in each module. Then in some of the modules here, not all of the ones, is going to be a section for demonstrate. All right, so in this case, you have an assignment to do, and this is where we begin the idea of, you let me know what's your project going to be, what's your paper going to be about. So that's where you demonstrate. In other words, you send in your assignments. And then the last part is not anything you have to complete to turn in. It just kind of wraps up the objectives. In fact, we'll look at it, and this is what we're going to do in the next learning objective. Right, so that's one way. Before we get off of this, I did want to mention, you notice at the bottom here we have previous and next. So you could navigate these pages. If you click previous, it's going to take you right back to the very last thing that was there. So the last thing before the deepen was where you submit your project paper or idea. Right, you click previous again, that's where it's going to take you back to the discussion forum. Right, so if you only want to move one thing back or one thing forward, that's a good way to do it. However, I often want to move from 3 lines above, to 3 lines below. So I would click on modules. That's where I find a better way of doing it, and then coming to where I need to be. But I just want to show you there's multiple ways you can navigate the course. But this is what you'll see at most, right? Some of these are module 5, right? We discover, we see our resources, we're going to discuss some stuff, and then you read the deepen. Right, module 6, again, same way. Module 7, though, we do need to have our draft in. So depending on the module, you may or may not have a demonstrate. And that's the way the course goes. I did want to mention this, especially some of you who have had summer courses before. So historically in summer courses, we've had 8 modules. Well, any other quarter you have 10. So what we decided to do is to kind of keep it more consistent. As far as the number of modules are concerned, you still have 10 modules. Right? But obviously we have 8 weeks to get through it. So how do we get through that? Right, and this is where the syllabus will help you. You can look at due dates here for each module. That'll help you. But notice if we go to syllabus, as I'm sure you've already figured out, we basically combine 2 weeks or 2 modules a couple of times, right? Sunday, this first one here is only module 1. This next week, you notice we have module 2 and module 3. Right, this one we have module 4 and module 5. Right, so what's the good thing about that? We combine 2 here and 2 here, so then the rest of the time we only are going to be working one module. If you are taking another course, the modules that may be combined down from 10 to make sure we get in 8 weeks may not be the same. So don't think it's always going to be 2 and 3 combined. It may or may not be. We tried to, at least what I try to do, is balance the work, where not one week is too monumental of work compared to the rest. So again, that's how I'll try to approach it. And that's, a look here again. My advice, you can figure out a way, I think, as you click around to navigate the course, but the best way to look at it and view it is to come here to your course, click on modules, and then that's going to let you see everything the way it was intended to be viewed. And that's how you're not going to miss things. The grades I did mention, so you can see your individual grades just like the other system. It does a good job, again, of having your summary over here, so you can kind of understand what's there. And then also, and I hadn't mentioned this before in the others, there's ways, you say, well, why do I need to score, in order to make a certain grade overall? This system does have a way you can go in on your end. I can't even do it as an instructor for a specific individual. But you can go in and see, I'm down to my last presentation. Right, what do I really need to have on that to get the grade I need? So you can do some what-if analysis. I think that's really, really interesting and really helpful to keep you as informed as possible on how you're progressing. All right, so those are the main things I wanted us to look at in the course. Probably a lot more than wanted to hear at this moment, but I just want to make sure that you were able to get into the course and not get frustrated before we even began the material. So hopefully that you found that helpful, and I definitely thank you for your time.